Hey, Future Docs, this is a necessary Step 1 clip for 2026. Step 1 is pass-fail, but don't let that trick you into thinking that this is just a casual exam. The exam is still a full-day beast, and the people who struggle on Step 2 are usually the ones who never really built a strong Step 1 foundation. In this video, I'm going to explain how to pass Step 1 as soon as possible in 2026. Now, this plan I have is simple, and it's consolidated, and it's exactly what moves the needle, and it's 4 things. Number 1, I have to do 1 primary QBank. 1. That does not mean 3 or 5, just 1 main engine, right? And usually that means UWorld or Amboss. People love to argue about which one's better, but honestly, for most students, it's going to be UWorld. What decides if you pass is, do you do enough questions and do you review them correctly? Now, in 2026, I want you to start in tutor mode if you're early, because you're learning the language of the questions, you're kind of getting familiar with how they're written. But as you get going, you have to transition into mixed random blocks, because the real test, hate to say it, is mixed. And you should gradually move toward timed, because pacing and fatigue do matter. All right, now listen to this part, because this is key. You are not doing questions to see your percent score. Don't even think about that for the first couple of weeks. You're doing questions to generate a high quality review session. Every single block should produce 3 deliverables. 1, what was the concept that was tested? 2, what was my error type? Was it a knowledge gap? Was it a misread? Was it faulty logic? And 3, what is my 1 sentence fix so that I never miss this again? That's how you turn a QBank into active improvement. And in terms of volume, a lot of students land around 40 to 80 questions per day, depending on the timeline, but I'm telling you that the quality of the review beats the raw volume. If you rush the blocks and you don't review them properly, then you're basically just exercising your mouse, right? And I recommend a great mouse, but that's not going to help you on test day. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, you need 1 consolidated note system. In 2026, the biggest trap is content hoarding. People like to collect 10 resources and master none of them. So just pick 1 home base, right? For most students, first aid style structure works great. Maybe your own structured notes, and then you can use targeted PDFs or boosters wherever you're weak. I highly recommend the crash course PDFs, but don't read those like a textbook. Use them for active recall. What I recommend, go ahead and get the book. Here we got chikungunya and dengue. Cover the page and then try to retrieve the ideas and then check yourself and then repeat. Also, don't neglect cardio, pulm, renal, and GI just because they feel familiar. Those systems are where people bleed points on exam day because they just get lazy and they assume, oh, I know that stuff. No, review it. So number 2 is 1 consolidated map. You don't need a huge, big old library. You just need a roadmap. So number 3, daily active recall, and make sure you don't get fatigued. Last month, I worked with a student who was burning herself out day after day. You have to find a sustainable pace for you. In 2026, the students who win on test day are the students who get the most retrieval repetitions without burning out. That's what it's all about. This can be on key if you keep it controlled, but don't do some insane deck where you're just doing 2,000 cards every single day and hating your life, right? I'd also recommend audio question workflow. Check out the playlist that I have on all the MBME reviews, because you can do this actively while you're driving, while you're lifting weights. I definitely recommend working out while you clean, while you walk, instead of just passively consuming Family Guy or whatever you like to watch on YouTube. You're forcing your brain to produce answers. Every single day, you have to do something that forces you to retrieve. It's not about just recognition. You have to retrieve from your own brain. All right. And so number 4 is going to be these official style self-assessments. Okay. Don't rely on your feelings about readiness. I worked with a student who was already in her 73s, 75s, and she could not sit for test day just because she felt so worried. But she got an 80% on the free 120 and she passed 3 MBMEs. And I said, go for it. And she passed, right? You don't need feelings in this, right? Vibes are not data. You need objective checkpoints. And so in 2026, the clean approach is to use the MBME style self-assessments up to MBME 33 as the official practice material. Don't wait until you finish everything to start assessing. Instead, I want a baseline very early. After you've done the QBank and you understand the question style and all that stuff, then you need to assess and reassess every 1 to 2 weeks, depending on your runway. Now, how you review actually matters more than the score, because every single missed question, every single lucky guess is going to be reviewed. And you convert this into a short rule like we talked about earlier and a trigger, meaning if I see X, I think Y. And then you add only the highest yield misses into your on key and your error log. Don't just explode your deck with a whole bunch of content. Don't make thousands of cards for one exam. Keep it super tight and keep it high yield. All right, so that's the core 4th point there. 1, use a primary QBank, review it properly. 2, you need 1 consolidated notebook or map, and then maybe some targeted boosters on the side, but just 1 consolidated notes. And then 3, do daily active recall, on key or audio questions. 4, use the official style self-exams and use them early and repeatedly. And I would just throw in, make sure you watch our crash course on YouTube, and also make sure you watch our MBME review videos. I recommend watching them while falling asleep. Now I'm going to give you the daily loop because this is where most students mess up. I want you to do a mixed QBank block. Second, a deep review with error type labeling and one sentence fix. And then third, the targeted content only for proven weaknesses so that you're not just reading a whole bunch of random fluff. And then fourth is active recall, right? So cards and audio questions. And fifth is a short list of recurrent misses, right? Your top 20 weaknesses that you can just revisit every single day. If it's on key, great. Have an ongoing list. You need to be revisiting your missed questions daily. And that's it. It's just a loop that you run and you repeat. And that is the way that you pass step one cleanly. All right. So 3 things to stop doing in 2026. 1, stop collecting all these extra resources for just in case. 2, stop using passive reading and pretending that you're actually doing something. No passive, all active here. And then 3, stop delaying assessments until the end. Calibrate early so that you can study efficiently and use these data points as your guide. Step 1 is pass-fail, but it's still very, very serious. And the path is not complicated, but it is repetitive, and it can feel intimidating at times. And students who pass are the ones who run a simple system every single day and don't get distracted until you pass this test. So if you want, I'm going to make some separate clips on exactly what to do in the final 8 weeks, the last 6 weeks, the last 4 weeks, depending on where your baseline is. If you want a guaranteed way to pass, then visit ivtutoring.net and just purchase the guaranteed pass plan. We've already helped 8 students in the last 2 months pass this exam, and you're guaranteed to pass. There's no downside. So if you like this content, subscribe, like, and I'll keep dropping high yield strategies and question banks. Thanks so much and best of luck in your exam.